In this video, I'm going to show you how to make smoked cheeseburgers with homemade pickles. So we're going to get started on our pickles today because they will take the longest. So I've just got our cucumber. I'm just going to square up that end, and then we're just going to use a mandolin to slice them so each slice is nice and even. And then here we've got our nice sterile pickling jar. Into that, I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, teaspoon of peppercorns. I've got 1 red chilli here. I'm just going to make an incision lengthways on one side of it. And then we're going to get that in the jar, and then a little bit of fresh dill, and then we just want to stuff our cucumbers in there. Now we can make our pickling liquid. Now the pickling liquid, super easy. In this pot, I've just got 1 cup of water. I'm going to add to that 1 cup of white vinegar. So you just want a 50-50 ratio. To that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of caster sugar and 1 tablespoon of salt. Then we're going to turn our heat on. Then all we need to do is bring that up to a boil. We'll give it a stir to let that salt and sugar dissolve. Then we'll let it cool down slightly before we add it to our pickling jar. All right, so our pickling liquid is cooled slightly. I'm just going to pour it into our jug so I can get it into our pickling jar a bit easier. So we'll go ahead and fill our pickling jar up to the top. And then we'll just let that cool down a little bit further before we put a lid on it, and then we can put that in the fridge. Now this is a quick pickle, so this only needs to go in the fridge until that pickling liquid has cooled down, which should only take about an hour. And now that's cooled down a bit more, we'll get our lid on. We'll give it a little shake. Now we'll get those into the fridge and we'll come back for these once we're ready to use them later on. So our pickles have been in the fridge for about 45 minutes now. I'm getting hungry, so now it's time to fire up the smoker. So we're going to be using our Oklahoma Joe's pellet smoker today, and we're going to get started by opening our hopper lid, and then we'll get some pellets in there. I've gone with some pecan flavored pellets today, but I absolutely love cherry flavor for smoked cheeseburgers as well. But now we can shut our lid, and then we'll turn our pellet smoker on. We'll select our temperature, which for this cook I want to be at 135 Celsius or 275 Fahrenheit. Now that's going to go through its preheating cycle, which will take around 10 minutes. So while our smoker's coming up to temperature, we can get a few things ready and talk about what we're using. So I'm going to be using some potato buns. I love the flavor of potato buns, but if you like something a bit sweeter, go brioche, or if you've got another favorite, then go ahead and get that ready. Now I'm going to be toasting these soon, so all I'm going to do is just slice these in half. And you can get any of your favorite burger sauces ready, but for this one, I'm just going to be using some tomato sauce and then some yellow mustard. And the cheese we're going to be using are the Dairy burger cheese slices. I've only seen these at Coles, but if you've got another favorite cheese, go ahead and use that. And then the only other thing I'm going to use in this burger is some finely diced white onion. So I'm just going to chop one in half. I'm just going to slice this end here. I'll peel that top layer off. And then we'll just make some slices this way. A couple of slices this way, and then we can dice this nice and fine. And then I'm going to be using some burger patties from Few and Far Food Professionals. The only ingredient in this is 100% Aussie beef. They've got a beautiful meat to fat ratio, and all I'm going to do is season them up in some of my beef bounce. Now these are ready to go on once our smoker's up to temperature. All right, now we are ready to get our burger patties on, so we'll open our lid. Get our patties right there, and then I'll get a drip tray in there, and that'll catch any juices, and it'll help stop that cheese making a mess when we put the cheese on later on. And now we're going to give those burger patties around 20 to 30 minutes before we come back to check on them. All right, it's been about 20 minutes and our burger patties are almost done, so I'm just going to start melting down some butter that we can toast our buns in. And now we will get our buns in, and after about a minute we've got a nice beautiful toast on our buns, so we can take them out. Right, and after about 25 minutes, these burgers are looking good. They've got a beautiful color from that smoke. And all I'm going to do now is just get a slice of that cheese on each one, and then we'll shut our lid and give that around a minute for the cheese to melt. And while that cheese is melting, I'm just going to get a good teaspoon of mustard down on the bottom of each bun. And now we've got a good melt on the cheese, we can get our patties out and onto our buns. And then we'll get a few of our beautiful pickles down. I'll get some tomato sauce on the underside of our top bun. We'll sprinkle some of that diced white onion on top of the sauce. Then we'll get our top bun on. And these are done. How good does that look? Now it's time to taste. That's so good. That is such a good combination. You've got some beautiful flavour in that beef, a nice subtle smoke flavour, some good melt on that cheese, a nice little chili kick from those pickles and some good sourness, and then those finely diced white onions just top it all off. Well, there you have it. There's how to make smoked cheeseburgers with homemade pickles. I'll put everything you need to know down in the video description. But if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below, But for now, that's the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.